Hello, everyone. Welcome to another of my series of conversations with folks around Vermont. Today, I want to acknowledge we are on the land which has long served as the meeting site and exchange and life space of the Indigenous peoples for thousands of years and is the home of the Western Abenaki people. We honor and recognize and respect our people, especially the Abenaki, as the traditional stewards of this land and the waters where we gather and live today here in this place we call Vermont. In that spirit, today we're going to begin by acknowledging that we're guests on this land and we need to respect and help protect these lands as we live on them and use them. I'm here today with Chief Donald Stevens as we kick off our virtual celebration of Earth Day, the 50th anniversary of Earth Day, which is Wednesday the 22nd. Thank you for being here, Chief Stevens. Really appreciate your taking the time to be with us.
You're welcome, Dave. I really appreciate it. And I think it's appropriate with this, what's happening in the community with the COVID-19, that we do a quick healing song for everybody, if you don't mind me doing that.
No mind at all. Please do.
Okay. So basically, this healing song is basically someone's feeling sick, and then they are going up to get medicine, and then they feel better, and it picks up the tempo. So I'll do a couple of verses of it just so people get the idea of part of our culture and how we heal.
I want to thank you for that. And I assume that sort of song is done with a group of people. And we're in this very isolating situation where we can't be in the physical presence of our friends and our community and our neighbors. How is that affecting you as the chief and the people that you would normally sing that song with?
The great thing about our culture is everything's individual, but looked at as a collective. So if we're feeling bad for ourselves or feeling bad for others, like we're sick, we can do it on our own, but collectively we look at it as more powerful. So we're all singing it. It brings more strength to the prayer for the song for healing. When we're doing it for ourselves or for others, it's still strength, but it brings that sense of healing, and everybody is touching each other to help flow that energy through our drum and the body to each other. Of course, with the social distancing, we can't touch and we can't be close to each other. So hopefully when some of this is lifted, we'll be able to at least gather with some social distancing so we can still practice our belief in our culture.
In what ways is COVID-19 affecting our Indigenous peoples, the Abenaki people here in the communities of Vermont?
As you know, how this virus has affected the Black community. We have similar makeups with diabetes, and heart disease and obesity. So we're really affected at high risk as well. So it's kind of a dangerous time for our people, and our elders hold all our knowledge, or not all of it, but I mean, and the way we look at things is we respect our elders, and elders have been on this earth longer, so they know more. So when you lose an elder, you lose a lot of that knowledge and wisdom and support that your children and you can go to for those teachings. So it really impacts our community from a cultural standpoint as well, because we really look to elder people to really help us and know that some of them may have lived through these things before and how to educate us. So I think that's really affecting us, and the social distancing and the layoffs are hurting our people who rely on those structures.
I think sometimes we right now are looking at a lot of uh, more senior individuals in this culture in senior living facilities and assisted living facilities, and really being separated in many ways from a lot of the rest of the families and cultures, um, which seems very different from the mindset and the cultural values and the way that of what you just phrased. I don't know if you have any words of wisdom for us on that.
In our culture, our elders are valued. They're looked at as a valuable resource and asset to our community and our families. Like myself, I took care of my mother for a lot of years, towards the end of her life, just to make sure to gather as much information and also to be a good son. And a lot of people nowadays in some cultures look at them as being more of a burden and something that's preventing them, by taking care of them, preventing them from doing something else they want to do. But in our culture, in the more traditional sense, the elders had the most knowledge and were slower, and they could teach your children. And then while the parents are out working and gathering and hunting and doing, making sure they could do what they need to do so the family could survive, and then they would be basically the teachers, not the babysitters. They would be the teachers of the children. And I think that's where we differ a lot than modern society. I think I don't want to paint a broad brush. What I'm saying is I think a lot of elders end up in their people are too busy and they end up in homes, and they're often not the educators, right? They're not the people in the schools educating.
Are there ways or things that Vermonters who don't have the same lineage can be helpful to your community?
Supporting us, just helping us. I mean, we do have nonprofits that are always, we don't have a revenue stream. So anytime they can help us, like right now, what we're doing is like our kids are out of school, right? We had an Indian education program. So we have the director of Indian education is actually helping to feed the children, cooking every day to help feed the kids that are affected by this, not just Native people, but also other kids that are in school that she was teaching after school programs at. Um, I think one of the things that we're doing to help our people is, because we connect with the land so much, is that we are gathering medicines. We're not asking other people to do it, but we're close to the earth, so we're gathering natural medicines to help with helping the healing of some of our elders and our sick. We're also doing the best we can to provide that support structure to that. And one of the things the legislators could do is, people think it's just not important, but our hunting and fishing rights. I mean, we have that bill H.716 out there. And when people lose jobs, our grocery stores are outside. We tend to hunt and we tend to fish and we go to grocery stores, but I'm saying is, we do a lot of natural foods, and without any funding, and if people lose their jobs, I don't want that to be a hindrance for them still continuing to get their things that they need. And if you can see on our website that we have a lot of permits to actually gather food and medicines on private land. So if people have land that they don't mind us gathering foods, like there's fiddleheads that are coming up soon, there's leeks that are coming up soon, there's other types of natural foods, they don't mind, please feel free to contact us, and we would love to be able to access those to continue to gather like we did traditionally.
Gathering from the earth makes me think about part of the basis of this conversation is around Earth Week and Earth Day and this 50th anniversary. Can you maybe give us a brief thought about the importance of Mother Earth to the Indigenous peoples and the Abenaki people?
To us, we are but one strand in the web of life. We are not the strand in the web of life. We are in partnership with the earth. We're in partners with the animals. And we have a greater responsibility to, because we do have destructive power. I always tell people that Mother Earth, you can tell, is correcting herself because of our deeds. So she will course correct. Whether we survive that course correction is to be seen. So I'm hoping that, the earth, people start paying more attention to that.
What you're speaking of in some ways is Mother Earth is going to heal what's going on. Whether we are going to make it through that healing or not is an important question. And in some ways, my next question had to do with how does Mother Nature help us heal and help others heal?
It's not about take. It's a give and take, right? So we're thankful for when we receive something, we give something back, right? So when we ask for something, we offer tobacco or we offer something in return. So there's always a balance, right? It's not just one way. So part of our philosophy is when we're praying, there are 7 directions to our culture, right? So in our circle of life. So like the first direction, we might be facing south and looking towards the east and asking that the eagle carry our prayers to the heavens, which are like holding the hand of God, right? That's why eagle feathers are so important to us. They were given to us at the time of the creation of humans. So as that connection to the Creator, and then we ask for those things. We offer tobacco, and then we ask the southern direction is really the grandmothers or the mothers. We ask for that love and compassion that we're seeing, with the nurses and everybody trying to help each other. We're asking for that compassion and love, and then we offer, also tobacco for those things. And then the west is the medicine, where the medicine comes from, and we ask that the black bear, as you can see, is our medicine, and we ask them, the black bear and the medicine to be there to help heal us and help heal the earth. And then, of course, the opposite of the grandmothers are the grandfathers, right? Those we ask for the teachings and the wisdom to do the right things, like in your position. What do I do? How do I do the right thing? How do I help people? What is the right road to take? So you're thinking logically of how to help people. So that's where the grandfathers come in. And then we ask down below, which is Mother Earth. So Mother Earth is giving us the nutrition we need, the medicines and the foods, and we're asking for all those things. And then, of course, then we look at the ancestors that guide us in the sky that brings the rain. So we ask all those things. And the last really direction, the most important, is ourselves. Like, what do we do for ourselves to help other humanity? What's the fire that drives us in our soul? What do we do to make this world better and to make an easier life for our children, our grandchildren, and those around us? And that's really, we have control over that, and that's our piece of that little pie. And so those are kind of the prayers that we do, and we're always connected, to the earth. And I'm hoping with this whole process that we're seeing more people get reconnected to the earth and to the outdoors and to Mother Earth and pay attention.
It's important. I as I farm organically, I'm always trying to build the earth, but also I am cutting into the earth and working the earth. And so it's a difficult balance to try to find, because it's not just a gathering practice, but certainly trying to build the earth and build the soil rather than just taking. But forever learning. So I think, turning to the different winds and the different elders to learn is great advice. Do you have any sort of final message or wisdom that you'd want us to hold as we work to rebuild from the impacts of COVID? And then maybe how that may or may not relate, particularly to how we treat the earth and our water and our air?
I think people really need to get reconnected to the source, whatever they feel their source is. A quick example is my grandfather used to farm. I'd pick apples from the tree, and if it had a spot in it, I said, "Grandpa, what do you want to do with it?" He said, "Well, cut it out the spot and eat it." I said, "Well, I don't really want it." "Well, give it to your grandmother and make a pie." "Well, she's got too many." "Okay, I'll make cider out of it." And and nowadays, people go to the grocery store, they pick up some apples. You can't tell me they don't look through it to make sure none of them are damaged, and they leave the damaged ones there, and then they bring them home, and then they might have a young adult or child come into the refrigerator and look at the apple and say, "Oh, this is damaged, put it back for somebody else," or they'll throw it away instead of using it and figure mom or dad will go get another bag of apples at the store. So when you stop caring about that, or you lose connection to how that food source came, you stop caring. And when you stop caring, then things go bad, right? We've seen that with what's happened with the climate and the way we. So I ask people to think about those things, reconnect to the source, and reconnect to their environment, and try to do the best to help keep us safe, right? Because what we do to the earth, we do to ourselves. So let's keep clean water. We all need water. Let's keep the earth clean. Let's be a partner with the earth instead of just walking upon it. And I think we could take that very far if hopefully out of this whole mess they get a little bit away from technology now and then, and get reconnected to those things that keep you alive.
Well, I want to thank you for taking the time to be here today. I know that everybody is strained for time in both work and family, and you also being chief have a much larger family that you are caring for and thinking about and helping make sure is healthy and safe. So I want to thank you for being with us today, Chief Stevens.
I appreciate it. And Walawazi, be very well, everybody. And I say Oli Bumpkini, that means travel well. So I really, my heart goes out to you and to the community, that we are all family. The name, what we don't ever think in our language, it's just Al Noba means human beings. We're all human beings. So let's just be one family.
Thank you. To our viewers, thank you again for joining us. If you want more information in our series of these videos, please visit my website at zuckerman4vt.com. If you also want more information about the COVID-19 and the situation in Vermont, go to healthvermont.gov. And I'm Lieutenant Governor Zuckerman. And while Earth Day is but one day of the year celebrated, I hope that we will think about it as something we think about every day, as we've learned right now with such wise words from the chief. It is one of the most important issues of our time to heal the earth as it helps us heal. And thank you for joining us.